the aesthetic.
Ah, well, who said that? Was that debate? It was David. Was that David?
No, it was Rico. To be fair, he suggested it. He didn't demand. He suggested. I thought it would make it more of a good idea. But ladies and gentlemen, we are here for Spain. We are here for qualifying for Division 3. It's going to be very, very exciting. Lots of different strategies to choose. The medium hards is probably the quickest strategy. The soft hard is doable, as we saw yesterday with Speedy getting second, nearly fighting for the win there yesterday in Division 2. And Bruno Will with the medium hard strategy also going from 11th to 1st with those medium compound tyres. So it is all to play for here today, ladies and gentlemen. But let's go trackside. Let's go down there into the Circuit de Catalunya.
Stream's looking very good. Very nice, isn't it?
It's lovely, isn't it? The big up
nice.
Fragstar. If you need to check Fragstar out, Fragstar91 on Twitch. He designed all this for us. Used to be a former driver in Division 3, a Division 3 champion in 2019. So make sure that you all go check him out. Without him, should I say, sorry, none of this would have been possible. So a big up to Fragstar. Thank you very much, buddy.
What a legend Fragstar is. What a legend.
Indeed, he really is. But let's get into the action, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody out there, so they probably got the timing glitch as always with Codemasters. We always know what that issue is. It is horrible and nobody likes it. But we've got to put up with it as commentators. It's a bit of a shame, but we shall see. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, in the chat, can you let me know if the audio levels are all okay? I turned this microphone up a little bit because it sounded a bit quiet yesterday on Division 2. So just let me know in the chat if it's all okay. Thank you very much.
I've just podium stream up because it means I can have a look. So that's them now just in the lobby. They are on 1750. Obviously a wee bit of a delay in between that, so we're about a minute ahead. So yeah, that's why no one's out just yet. But that's them now in the lobby. So I'm trying to see if I can. He's not showed us. He showed us quality weather, but he's not checked the race. So please, can you check the race so we can see what the weather's going to be like? Don't just go out. It's a dry race. Dry quality, dry race. There you go.
So that means it's going to rain tomorrow in Division 4. Thank you. Yay. But one of the first cars are going out, and I'm pretty sure that was, of Matriz in the McLaren, and also by the looks of it of Jezza in the Alpha Tauri. So those two are going to be the first cars on track. Predictions, Presto, for your qualifying, the top 3.
Oh, I don't know, because I think it can be a very interesting one today. Maybe Harvey again. Maybe Dino. Rumours had that what's his name? Wedgie has done a 13.9 round here. That's a rumour. So if he's done that, then I mean, that's rapid. So I think maybe Wedgie's going to be up there. I think maybe Dino and Harvey are going to be up there. I think a lot of people might start doing another strategy. They might start outside the top 10, as we saw Legends do it last night. So we'll just have to wait and see. But I'll be interested to see what the strategies are, because it's not just a case of you start outside the top 10 here. That's you. I think if you start outside the top 10, it's actually better than being inside the top 10, but you just have to kind of have things going your way. So we'll see a lot more at the end of the session, and who my money will be on to win the race.
Yeah, Jezza has the rev glitch. I'm trying to get off it, guys, but he's the first person to set a lap, so we're going to go on board with him and see how he does. Presto with Presto's track guides. Do you want to take us through this?
Yes, I will. Who are we watching? Did you say Jezza?
Yep.
Yes. So, there we go. I've got him now. Perfect. So, into turn 1. Let's see where he brakes just after the 100-metre board. He gets that slowed down well using the curb. Short shifting up, so that's a very good sector 1 there by the looks of things, as long as he just keeps it tight now. If any of his first sector, he'll be looking to try and get under the 21s. It is a 21, so it's not too bad from Jezza. Locks the front up slightly, but the car looks stable. I think he's got a good setup under him as he comes into the downhill though. That's a really hard corner to get right. There's not really a braking zone, but he ran wide. But as long as he just keeps his lap going, at least he can get a banker and brake with the curb is using all of it. Again, nice and stable through there. Let's see, is he flat through turn 9? Slight lift there maybe, but looks good. Let's see, will he brake just at the 100-metre board? Gets the car slowed down. Uses third gear, gets up to second. So a few people, not using first gear for that rotation. Using a lot of curb through there. Had to slow the car down a bit more using third gear. How much curb is he going to take? Yeah, it's a wee bit cautious here, but it's just looks like he just wants to get a lap in. Using all the curb. Short shifting up to third. No, he doesn't. He keeps it in second coming out. They're not a bad lap from Jezza. Let's see as he crosses the line. This could be about 15.5. It's the 15.8. So it's not a competitive lap, but it's at least a lap he's put in, as we see. Who's that? Matriz puts pole at the moment with a 15.6, so not a bad lap from him. Anyone else on a lap at the moment? I think a lot of people are just about to finish theirs. So
yeah, the next AlphaTauri on the medium compound tyres was Taui there, going with a 16.4. Darko Wade beats the provisional pole time there with a 15.5. Next across the line is going to be a Sauber of Fin2 Racing. He goes third with a 15.7. Next is going to be a Williams. Is that of Wedgie? It is Wedgie on the medium compound tyre. He puts himself on provisional pole with a 14.9 on the mediums, which is a huge lap. Onto the podium, just starts his flying lap. Next is a Mercedes. I think that's of Dino. Dino goes second. He backed out of that one. He braked just before the line, and that was a 15.2. Next was Chelsea in the Sauber with a 16.5, and that was Zakis Beast with a 15.9. Next is going to be a Red Bull. Looks like Owen Howell. He's going to, he's invalidated his lap, so he's not going to set a time. Next is going to be Eke Blower. Where does he put it? He puts it fifth with a 15.7. The next Haas of Apex is just starting his lap. He's down there in Sector 3. Harvey's gone out on his time. Podium is currently on a lap. Owen has just started his flying lap, and Nash is just into the final hairpin here in the racing point. Let's see where he's going to put. Oh, he backs out of that one.
Ooh.
Comes into the pits.
It seemed like a good lap from Nash there. Let's have a look at his sector times, but maybe he just didn't want to start on those tyres by the looks of things. Well, it's still show me he's in the pits. 21.1, 20, what's a 28 flat he done in the middle sector, so just looking at wedges. Yeah, I think he was on for provisional pole there. He just didn't want to finish the lap by the looks of things, so don't know why that. Maybe he's just seen people on the mediums as like wedgie. That's a great lap from wedgie, a 14. The best I've done on a set of mediums is like a 14.6 or something, so that is a quick lap from wedgie.
Onto the podium, comes across the line, gets third with a 15.4. Just let me know, guys, in the chat. I saw that the game volume was quite loud. I've just turned it up. Is it a bit better? Is it too loud now? Just let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
But that's an incredible. Wedgie stopped. Wedgie has stopped. Why is he stopping? He's letting cars go, but he needs to watch he doesn't get disqualified. I think he's okay though. Right, he's back up to speed, so.
Owen backs out of his lap 2. Harvey has just started his flying lap. Apex, I saw, had a bit of a moment on his out lap, so he's just starting a flying lap. Still quiet. Why is that still quiet? For me, it's saying that I've got loads of volume on it.
Just got Breezy in the chat saying, is soft to hard actually possible? It is, as long as you pit it between about lap 8 onwards, you are fine. I pitted on lap 8 yesterday on Sunday night, and the tyres to right to the end. The warning light comes on about lap 29, but as long as you're not locking up, you should be okay. But it's weird though, because we do know that the puncture territory is like 70% onwards, so you can get to 72 and it could go, or you can get to 98 and it's still intact. So it is possible to do soft hard around here as long as you get to lap 8, but I wouldn't recommend starting on the softs if you have the chance. So
I've just seen some information and a stat already to see. So wedgies. This is a mad stat, by the way, Presto. When I'm going to tell you this, you're going to be like, "What?" Harvey invalidates his lap as he comes across the line. He didn't get that last
right
corner.
to the end as well.
All right. So this stat, Presto.
The
medium compound tyres of wedgie. That time that he set, he is 3/10 of the medium compound tyre lap of Bruno Will in Spain a couple of days ago.
Mental, isn't it? I think probably Bruno Will had a bit more time in his lap, because I think he was doing 2s. I think previous, if I remember correctly, because I think when SRC was round here, or when there was a big league race round here, a lot of people were practicing. I'm sure he done a high one, so I think he was maybe sandbagging in a way. But yeah, 14.9 to be the quickest in Division 3 on a set of mediums, you know, is great. To be that much further ahead than everyone else who on softs, I think it's incredible. So a lot of people saying someone needs to be moved up, even to Division 2 by that time. You know, it's
yeah,
it's incredible. I say the best I'd done on a medium was like 14.6. I think it was. Only done like 1 or 2 laps, so there's probably a bit more time, but I didn't spend all day trying to do it. But yeah, that's an incredible time from Wedgie. I don't think we'll see him going back out, just for the fact that he might not get pole, but he's going to be out. He's going to be really high up the grid, even with those tyres on. But if I was the likes of Crowden or maybe Minaj, I would just consider putting a set of mediums on. Yes, I might not be as quick as that, but looking at the pace, you've got people here. I mean, 15.8. Crowden should be able to beat that time. You know, maybe Jezza and Fin2 and Eki below on a set of mediums, so he can still get inside the top 10. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what people do now, because it's a weird strategy around here. So
yeah, there is a lot of strategies to do around here. Just fix the game volume some more, so that should be all better for people in the stream. I mean, Senna's just coming across the line to finish his lap. He's in the Ferrari in 13th place, not set a time yet. The bottom 8 haven't set a time as of yet. Like we say, a lot of strategies could come into play as he goes on the mediums with a 17.3. There's just so much with this track that you can do so much. A safety car is going to help massively for some people. It's going to hinder a lot of people. It's going to do you just can't predict what is going to happen.
Well, it's still Legends last night, starting outside the top 10, put a set of hards on, and then the safety car came out. That's made the strategy, because, you know, everyone pitted. I said to the chat, I said David shouldn't have pitted. You know, I thought it was a bit more of a risk. Track position was key, and it worked out for Legends with the safety car. But who was? I think was it Speedy that was in second, who stayed out in the safety car, and that made up for him.
Yeah.
I think he was only like 4 seconds off of Legends, considering, you know, he was on a quicker tyre. You know, it's the strategy is really going to make a big difference here. But even we won't know until like halfway through the race what's actually going to happen. So I think the excitement level should be up as long as we'll get a safety car at like the right time for the softs, because then that'll bring them all in. They can get to the end on hards, and then if you're on a set of mediums, you have to put hards on as well. So
Fintu's binned it. Fintu's binned it.
That's fun. Yeah, we're right on bottom Massa. It's just going to be cars coming up. Where did he hit? He's lost the rear of the car by the looks of things.
Lost the rear, tried to regain it. It's gone straight into the barrier. Yeah. Lost his right rear on that run. So that is him out of this qualifying session. And he is currently in 7th with a 16.7. So a big, big shame for him. So he's going to be praying that you know what, he might actually be happy if he gets outside the top 10. But he's currently 9th, so he is dropping down the order like crazy. Minaj went second there with a 15.1 on the soft compound tyres. Massey's about to come across the line on the mediums, goes 11th with a 15.9. Dino is currently on a flying lap 2. He's further that back down. Nash has just started his. Owen has validated his attempt. Apex is in sector 2. Crowden not set a time yet, just going out of the pits. So we'll have to see where Crowden and Harvey put it, especially Preston, because those are the part of the big boys in Division 3, and we've not seen set a time yet.
No, not yet. I don't think his Crowden even left the pits. I don't think he's left. He's still 16th. I don't think I've seen him on track yet. But looking at Dino's lap, he's 3/10 down in the middle sector. Unless he did back off at the end, I think you remember saying. So unless he's got a bit of time in this last sector, as he comes across the line, will he improve? He needs to really improve on that time, but I don't see him doing it. Oh, he did. Well, fair play. He actually did get into the set there. So he backed off perfectly at the end there. But, good luck from Dino there, to be fair. 15.1, only 2/10 off a Wedgie, but Wedgie's still in the pits. I think that'll be Dino's quality done. He's quite happy with that time. Who's going to be next, to be fair? So Crowden is on his outlap. Let's see the set of softs.
Nash currently in 20th, not set a time yet. Has not. Is coming round into the final chicane and is just coming around the final corner now. Let's see what the Racing Point is able to do here. Let's see what he's going to set. Not set a time yet, of course. Where does he put himself? Puts himself on provisional pole from nothing to something, from bottom to the top. 14.9 there from Kanash. Just 600th of a second separate him and Wedgie, but that is from the soft compound tyres to the mediums.
So actually, good luck from Nash there. Get himself on provisional pole. I don't think Wedgie will be trying to beat that. So I think a lot of people are on the mediums. So if you look at it, it's not like Division 1 or 2, where, you know, a lot of people are on the softs. It looks like everyone's going for the medium tyres here. So yeah, that's a very interesting one. A lot of people don't really want track position at the moment. They're really looking more towards the race. But let's ride on board Crowden then. Let's see what he can do. Going into turn 1, DRS open. Passing 200 miles an hour. Is he going to get the brake? Not lock up. He's trying ABS, so he's not going to, but he takes the cab nice there. Misses through turn 2. He's going to keep it nice and tight through turn 3. Yes, he does. Let's see his first sector splitters. We're looking for about a 21. 21.2, so not too bad. Keeps it nice and tight. Oh, runs in the grass though. He might just about get away with that. Coming down into turn 5, the tricky braking zone to get right. But again, look, that gets the cut undone. Right, now into turn 7 and 8. This is where you need to get it perfect. Take as much curve as you can through turn 7. As he gets that right there and uses all the curb on exit. Car's a wee bit all over the place. He's not really on the race. He's on the racing line, but he's a wee bit all over the place. But he's not validated yet, but he backs off. Ooh, he maybe didn't like that lap there. But yeah, that's a very weird one for Crowden. Didn't seem like too bad of a lap. I'd expect him to maybe have got into like the top 6, but maybe he's just slowing down. but he backed off like very late in the lap, so there's still going to be a bit of tyre wear through this through them tyres. So not the greatest, but let's see if he goes for another lap. I'll keep an eye out on him though.
Yeah, definitely so. It's going to be interesting to see. Crowden's the only person out there. Everyone else is just starting their outlaps now currently. And let's see what they're all going to do. Well, the outlaps are coming in for the final bit of this session. Crowden did the 25.3. Well, obviously going for another lap. So let's see what he's at. Maybe was it just to try and get those mediums worn in a little bit, because they are optimal just after like a couple of percent.
He might have been doing that, but at the same time, I think he probably would have been better just doing a really slow lap as well. Just doing 2 laps. So he has improved in his first set. He's half 10th up. Yeah, and he's went a bit wider this time, so he's done. It should be a better lap as long as he keeps it clean, because this part of the lap we're into now actually seemed okay. You know, he was kind of all over the curbs. Car seemed to be kind of stable, so as he comes into turn 7, again, it seems better there. I was a bit hesitant on the throttle, but let's see what he does to turn 9. Keeps it in 6th.
I mean,
his car looks very stable.
We see some drivers going 5th through that corkscrew just to get it a bit more stable, but he is choosing 4th on both of his runs, so it's interesting to see through that one. Well,
he's obviously up. I don't expect this. I expect this maybe about a 15.3, 15.4 maybe, just by the way this lap seems to be panning out. Doesn't seem too bad to the last sector as he comes through turn 14 and 15. Gets car up to 4th on the curb. Right, let's see what we'll put him up to. I assume this would be about 15.4, 15.5. Across the line. I'm well off, sorry, it's a 15.1.
Very nice lap.
Good lap from Crowden there. I think that lap from Wedgie, when we were very surprised by his time on the mediums, I think actually isn't too bad. We saw Dino doing a 1, Crowden doing a 1, Wedgie doing a 4. So it's a great lap, don't get me wrong, but not as far as ahead as I thought he would be in the mediums compared to everyone else, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But good lap there from Crowden, and that will be him done for qualifying. But let's see, can podium upset them with a 15 flat? He only needs to find a 10th, so I think we can see a few people here maybe jumping up, trying to go for a different strategy, just try and play the ball. There could be a few people here as well who maybe qualify outside the top 10, but today think, well, do you know what, people are going on mediums, I'm going to try to set us off, so I'm going to try and get myself up in the big boys.
Big
Is that we're looking at?
Yeah, Zach had a bit of a moment there going sector 3. If you take that curve quite a bit, it's going to snap the car completely the other way. So it's really not been nice for two in that car. So let's see what he's going to put. It should be down on his time, I imagine, but he might be a little bit up. He is a little bit up. Gets less than a 10th out of it. So that cost him quite a bit of time on that one. It could have promoted him a little bit further.
Well, Terry was on his lap, he's backed off, so maybe he's even invalidated, so I think Terry's done. To be fair, he's not got enough time to come and set his lap, so Terry will be done in this qualifying
remember, we got
section.
the glitch. We have the glitch.
Oh, so we do.
They've all just started coming out the pit lane. Weggie's only just come out on the mediums again, so there's still probably about a minute and a half left in this session. Before
minute and 20, yeah. Minute and 20. I've got podium stream up and he's got a minute and 20, but Terry did back off his lap, so maybe Terry actually done that lap and then came into the pits, or I don't know, but Terry's done for qualifying, so I've got podiums up at the moment just to see if he can find a 10th to get himself on the front row. But his turn 1 and 2 looked very nice there, right over the curbs. Let's see what he can do though.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as I just saw the trees come up the line to start his flying lap. Saki's Beast is on his in lap. Chelsea will be coming in by the looks of it. Owen Howell is currently down in sector 1. Breezy in sector 3. He's in the Red Bull. He hasn't set the time yet on this session. He's there with the medium compound tyres. So we will have to see what is going to happen here. Let's have a little look here. Where's that curve? Clearly slides the car out. It's a dangerous curve, that one too. Sector 3 is really... Oh, he's invalidates on the exit of the chicane, and that is his qualifying session done and dusted. Who were you on? Were you with podium?
Well, I'm watching podium's lap at the moment. He is slightly up. He's about 2 tenths up at the moment, coming through the last sector. I've got the privilege to see his delta. He's 2.5 tenths up. It looks like if he can just nail this last corner, he will get onto provisional pole. It looks really good. It's very clean. I'll let you know if he comes at the final corner. He is 3 tenths up, so this will be a 14.7, maybe a 6 if he gets it right across the line.
And it's provisional pole.
And puts himself on provisional pole. Great lap from onto the podium there.
It's a beautiful lap, but we've got to remember Wedgie is back out there on the medium compound tyres. Kanash is currently on a lap on the soft, so they are... Oh, it's a Kanash just invalidates actually in the corkscrew, so we won't see a challenger from him. I'm just trying to see if there's anybody else there currently on a lap. Harvey's currently on a lap also.
Well, he got held up. he got held up by Dino, sorry. I was just riding on board, and Dino's just on the racing line. Unless, as Dino finished his lap, he has, so his AI took over. So Harvey had nothing he could have done about that there. But that probably has affected his lap. And Dino's going to hold up Wedgie as well. Just his AI, that's nothing he could have done there. But I'm surprised Wedges went out, to be fair. Sitting P3 on a set of mediums, he doesn't want to put any more life through them.
No.
So I'm a bit surprised I've seen him come out with a lap that he'd done, you know. But can Harvey at least get himself a valid lap on the board? But we'll see what he does. It seems to be an okay lap, a bit scruffy, but can he get himself anywhere within the top 10? Out the final corner, it runs out of ERS as you do it this track, cross line, it's going to be 15.2. That's actually a really good lap from Harvey, considering the traffic he had. Got himself inside the top 10, he'll start on these tyres. Anyone else on off at the moment? Let's have a look. Is it Zach at the moment? He's backed off his, Chelsea's backed off. Podium's AI still going, Wedges in. I think that's qualifying done.
I think that is qualifying done, and onto the podium takes pole position here in Spain. Barcelona is certainly proving to be interesting already with some of these drivers. Wedgie there in third on the medium compound tyres, and also Kanash in second alongside onto the podium on the front row. 3 tenths quicker onto the podium was ahead of Kanash. Tawi in fourth place on the softs. Crowd in fifth and sixth, sharing that row with Minaj, Dino, and Harvey in seventh and eighth. And Jezra, Darko, Wade will wrap up the top 10. Outside of the top 10 is going to be as follows: Owen Howell, Massey, Matrice, Eke Blober, Fintu Racing, Zakis Beast, Chelsea, Senna, Apex, and Breezy at the back of the grid, not managing to set a lap time in this session.
That's actually it's a really good lap for podium, and also it's very what's what I'm looking for? It's worked out really well because you've got people like Wedgie on the mediums and Crowden, Dino, and all that now, but they're on mediums, but they have to go on a set of hards anyway. So the hards aren't too much of a difference in between like the actual delta of them between maybe about 5 or 6 laps. It's not too much of a difference. So as long as podium can get a good start, control the race till about lap 8 or 9, pit for a set of hards, hopefully it doesn't come out in traffic and can be quite clean, not pick up penalties. When Wedgie pits, he might gain a wee bit being on those mediums compared to podium on the hards, but it's an interesting one. People outside the top 10, I want to see if they start on hards. That's probably the strategy to go on, but it's not too much of an advantage starting on the mediums, because once it gets to about lap 6 or 7, that's when the mediums start to get a bit better. You pit for a set of hards. The hards are really stable. You don't drop off as much. The hards on this game, it's just how they are. So the stream can't hear you. No problem.
So,
ladies
and gentlemen, we are here for European Race Night Division 3, and we are here at the Circuit de Barcelona de Catalunya here in Barcelona. It's going to be fantastic to see what this race is going to shape up. Spain is one of those tracks where anything can happen. We're here in Spain. As you can see, 16 corners. There's 3 difficult sectors here. Sector 3 being the most challenging of them all, with 2 DRS straights, detection zone 1 in Sector 2, and detection zone 2 is coming round the final corner. 16 corners, it's all going to be very interesting here. Corners like the corkscrew, corners in Sector 3 that might take up some opportunities to overtake, but we will have to see the safety car out there, as you can see, out on track. We saw that yesterday in Division 2. We didn't see it in Division 1. Will we see it here in Division 3? For European Race Night Division 3, we'll see you all in a minute. Bye-bye. Why did I say bye? Why did I say bye? Why did I just say bye?
Oh, you did. No, you did.
I just outroed the race start. That. Oh dear. Anyway, moving swiftly on, let's have a quick look at the driver's standings. Division 3 driver standings. Harvey is currently at the top in the racing point with 87 points, followed by onto the podium with 73, and Wedgie in the Williams with 68. So Wedgie is definitely in a good position right now on the medium to hard strategy to close up some gaps in the tables. But Crowden, his teammate, is with 36 in 4th, Darko with 32 in 5th, Owen Howell in 6th with 30, Tawi in 5th, 30 also in 7th, Breezy in 8th with 25, Hayes in 9th with 21, and Dino wrapping up the top 10 there in 18th place. So there's still a lot to play for here in the championship.
There really is. It's only round 6, you know what I mean? So it's about keeping it clean at this point. This is what you want to be doing. You want to just be keeping out of trouble, trying to get the laps in, trying to get, good results as well. when I done WR last season. I was really good at the start. I'm not gonna blow my own trumpet, but I was able to get loads of good results for the first half of the season, and then that just made it so much easier at the end, where likes of Days Rhombus, like I think I had like 130 points gap, and he brought it down to like 60 or 50 by the end of it. But like because I had all those wins and those podiums at the start of the season, it just makes it so much easier at the end of the races that you just know, right? I don't even need to win this race. I just need to get good points. So I think the likes of Harvey, podium, they're in a good position. Wedgie, the top three have already pulled that gap to the likes of Crowden, who's, I don't think, he will mind me saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway, the bottle job that is Crowden. He's got so much pace, you saw him at Zandvoort having those issues, you saw him at China having the spin. He's got pace to be up there, but he just can't get the results in at the moment, and if he doesn't get the results now, at the end of the season, it's going to be so much harder to try and crawl all those positions back.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll just have a quick look at the Constructors' Championship. Constructors are top with Williams with 104 points at the top there. Racing Point in second with 87. Renault are close behind Racing Point with 78 points in third there. But the closest battle between the Constructors is the Red Bull and AlphaTauri. 2 points separate them to Red Bull with 55 and AlphaTauri with 53. The Mercedes, they're in 36 points with 6th place. 7th is McLaren with 32. Ferrari with 27. And all three Ferrari-powered cars are at the bottom of the Constructors. Ferrari, Haas, Alfa Romeo with 27, 24, and 11 points. So still places to catch up on with the Constructors also. So still a lot to play for. Still a lot to happen here in Spain. I mean, Presto, let's go with you first of all. What are your predictions today, good sir?
I think Wedgie's got a good chance starting on the alternate strat. Maybe Crowden's got a chance, but every time I back Crowden, he doesn't do well, so I'm not going to back him today. I think Podium's got a good chance. Just starting off pole, I mean, the lap that he done there shows that he's got some good pace. As long as he can keep it clean in the race, I think his setup is quite good as well. The car looked very stable, so I think he's got a chance of being up there. People outside the top 10 might have a chance as well, so I'm probably going to say Podium's going to be up there. I'll say Wedgie will be up in the podium as well, and maybe the likes of Towie. Towie's always the one I don't, and I'm not going to say right Towie, I don't mean that, but I never give him my full support, and he always does well. So I think Towie's got a really good chance of getting getting a podium, and I think he will do it today.
Yeah, I mean, Towie last week in the Netherlands had an absolute fantastic race, getting a podium place. I think he got third last week in the Netherlands, and I'm pretty sure, Towie, I can see you in here, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it was your first podium in European Race Night. It was a fantastic drive, by the way, mate. I've raced with you in Division 3. It was a really, really good. We've had a couple of good fights in Division 3 too. You've certainly got the pace, and you certainly picked it up this season. And hopefully, we might see you up there once again on the podium. So your predictions were again? Sorry, I forgot already.
Forgot or not listening? Is that the way I'm going to? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt and forgot, but I'll say onto the podium, Wedgie and Towie. But just a quick one from the stewards. Dino's car has been put to the back of the grid. Oh, I wonder what that's for. Is that for a technical infringement? But his car is starting last from qualifying. I think it was 4th or something. So he's really going to be struggling in this race to try and either make up his position. I don't know what it was. Maybe the FIA said that I was underweight.
I
don't know.
I didn't see anybody do that. I didn't see anything pop up for Dino. So Dino is starting at the back of the grid. But just before we go back down to the track, I think I'm going to put in my predictions. I think I'm going to put in Wedgie. Hopefully the bottle job himself. Crowden. And I'm probably going to go with onto the podium in third. That is what I'm going with so far.
That sounds like a good prediction. I'm quite happy with that. One thing we need to do with people on stream, like for interactions, I do on my streams, I do the channel points, and we have like the predictions. Would you maybe want like something to do that? As you can be involved in this, and you can try and win channel points. If you'd like that, let us know. I can let Dime that, and I can let you know how we set that up. But got people in the chat saying hashtag blame Dime, blame Ferrari for Dino starting at the back. But I don't know what that was about, because he'd have to have had like 3 instances of like 5 place grid penalties. So very weird one that, but. Let's see what he can do though. He's starting 20th. It can't get any worse for him.
Yeah, definitely. So onto the podium is now coming round the final corner now on this formation lap. We are moments away here from getting this underway. I think I know what your strategy was meant to be, Presto, before you had a spin at the last corner in Division 1. Sorry to remind you of that one. But you were going for the soft hard. We saw Speedy do it yesterday in Division 2, which got him 2nd place. The soft hard is doable for Kanash and onto the podium, but how much slower are they going to be at the end?
I don't know. I think it's going to be. It might be a bit slow, but I've just got people in the chat. Dino is Lewis Hamilton from running the number 44, so that's another weird glitch as well that he's been given the car. So something fishy going on. But here's the start of the race, and I'll let you talk over it.
Yeah, here we go. 4 lights, 5 lights. We're getting ready for European Race Night Division 3, and we are not yet underway. They're revving up. We're getting ready. Renault versus Racing Point on the front row. It's lights out and away we go. Kanash got a really good start there. He's already ahead of onto the podium. So did Towie. Towie is already trying to pressure onto the podium now as they go into turn 1. Let's see how this is going to be a clean turn 1. Towie goes down the inside, gets that move done, moves up into 2nd place. There's Wedgie battling with Menard further back. Menard is trying to get past Wedgie, doesn't make that work. Harvey and Crowden, it's a virtual safety car already, and that was Massey being the big victim of that by the looks of it, right at the back.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened just when I was trying to look through everyone's POV just see what happened, but you've got chaos all the way in the mid-pack, you've got people gaining positions. That Chelsea got a 5-second penalty for cutting the corner and gaining position there. Probably wasn't allowed to give it back onto the virtual safety car. We know what this game is like, but Nash got a great initial launch. I wonder if he's on pad. I think he is, to be fair, looking at that. So he got a great launch, good to Towie. Wedgie's still 4th. He gained positions out of that. I don't think he gained, to be fair, at all, but the safety car, the virtual safety car is still going at the moment. Nothing about it ending in the next couple of corners, but yeah, so you've got Chelsea with 5 seconds, we've got Zach with 5 seconds, Dino and Apex have also got 5 seconds, so bit of a chaotic start, but this virtual safety car will help just kind of bring the pack together for this lap, just to cool things down.
Yeah, definitely so. They should be getting underway at the moment. No retirements at this moment, so it was definitely just for damage. 5 laps later, we are now out of virtual safety car. Wedge just took straight advantage of that and tried to make a move on Menard, and does so. Harvey and Jezza and Crowden, there's contact between the two, and that was Jezza losing an end plate, or Crowden, because Crowden now comes into the pits. They were side by side going through the final hairpin. Owen Howell and Matrice. Owen Howell is right on the back here of Matrice. He's looking to try and get this move done. Let's see how this is going to go. They're now heading towards the straight. It's going to be a double move here on Owen Howell, and let's see how this is going to go. Owen Howell's on the outside, McLaren on the inside, now has the outside line. Does Matrice now has the inside line and gets ahead, moves up into 9th place on the hard compound tyres, and a fantastic start from Matrice on those hards.
Well, we've got Speedy in chat saying, is Dino damaged? Yes, he was. He's into the pits. Oh, Matrice lost the rear. Owen Howell hit from there.
No, yeah, nearly going on in the Sauber and the Haas, and all these Red Bulls are all in the back and waiting for this battle to unfold. The Red Bull and the Haas are Breezy and Eke below, where these two are side by side as they head towards the corkscrew. The Red Bull goes around the outside. Oh, Breezy gets that move done, a fantastic move, and onto the podium. And Wedgie there, look at this fight up ahead of Harvey. And Menard, Harvey's going down the inside. That's going to be brave, hits the Williams. That was a bit of a silly move there. I think he was nowhere near to make that one move. And Wedgie just nearly has contact with him, and Harvey just managed to save that incident and from a full spin out there.
Well, Minaj has got wing damage. Minaj was the one who got wing damage there. His front left end plate is hanging off completely, so he's going to be really affected. Can he get that car to like lap 8? No, he pits in very early, so he will have to do the 2-stop as Towie pits the fastest lap. He goes for the lead as well, right on Nash. He's put the fastest lap in. Ahead he goes. He needs just a bit of DRS to do that, but look at the gap they've got. I think onto the podium might have made a mistake that lap. The gap is 2.5 seconds, unless you miss something.
Jezza having a little look there further back on the McLaren, but here is Owen on Matrice. The other McLaren's in the battle now on those hard compound tyres. Owen goes around the outside, has the inside line, did exactly what Matrice did to him on the last lap, and gets that move done.
Very good clean racing from both those drivers there. Nothing, you know, they could have pushed each other off there, went to the curb, but no, very clean racing there. Fair play to both drivers.
Yeah, they're still close now, side by side. It's Breezy here with Fincy Racing. He's just got past Matrice, and now, sorry, he's just got, it was the wrong one actually, never mind. He's just got past Fincy Racing there, which is excellent to see. I thought he said he got past Matrice, but it was just Owen that did that. I got the Red Bulls mixed up a little bit there, Presto.
Having a wee issue, are you? But we're back to normal though. It's all good. It happens to the best of us. But what people say in the chat, we've got Rico saying action packed at the moment. Vamos Towie, yeah, Vamos, indeed. Nash staying with him. Lucky stay with him until the DRS on the podium is gaining on Nash as well this lap. So I think maybe it was just a bit of warm-up issue from podium after that virtual safety car restart.
Oh, is that Breezy?
But,
Breezy's gone.
It is. Breezy has spun it.
Breezy's had a little bit of an issue there. I don't see damage on that end plate, so he's okay for that at this moment in time. But Harvey setting the fastest lap of the race on those medium compound tyres with a 15. And here comes Kanash. Oh, he was looking at making a move there on Towie, but doesn't go for it. So the medium starts to come to life now. Lap 4. This is where a sort of crossover point starts to come around lap 5 there between the softs and the mediums.
Yes, this is when the mediums start to kind of take effect, but Podium just needs to try and get within the DRS range. You know, if you can get that saves you a good 2 to 3 tenths a lap. As you saw, it was like 2 seconds, and then Crowden with the fastest lap of the race there after pitting. So you've got proven light saying Crowden needs to race like this a 5 lapper. He does, to be fair. He needs to just kind of be a bit more aggressive. Just a long 5 lapper he does. He just needs to be very aggressive. You need to be aggressive at a track like this. Even though, you know, you might think, you know, you want to be as clean as possible. Sometimes you've just got to go for a dive and hope that the other driver doesn't turn into you, if you know what I mean. Put a bit more, emphasis, but, you know, you're putting a lot more trust in another driver, you know. But as long as you've got a driver that you know that if you can send up the inside, they won't crash into you, then you can get a move most of these corners. So it'll be interesting to see what happens once these tyres start to take effect. But Podium's put it down to 1.3. But again, it comes to DRS and that should shoot up to about 1.6, 1.7. So as long as you can keep this pace up, I think you should be able to catch up to the top, to at least Towie. But Wedgie, I think, will be happy just to stay in that position. I wouldn't see him wanting to go for the move, to be fair. I think he's happy staying behind Podium just for this moment, just to save his DRS, just save a bit of his tyres. But all will tell as Jedza is into the pits this lap.
Yeah, Jezza in. I think he had a little bit of a moment as that was Wedgie having a little bit of a moment, just going quite wide there in the exit of turn 3. But we've got a little bit of a fight behind Finishing Racing here. 1.7 second gap between him and Matriz. There's a lot of gaps starting to form up there, pressed up. But here comes the Haas of Eke Below, who's looking to try and make some moves here on Fin 2. He's on the harder compound tyre than Fin 2. Fin 2 on the medium compound tyre. So there's a lot of interesting things to happen here. Massey has clawed his way back up. He was in last, he's now in 12th place, so he's looking to try and get a move on. Don't think he had to pit, so he didn't get any damage at this current moment in time. So he got very lucky with the first lap incident, but he's looking to try and make moves now and try and get past this pack.
He really is. Keep an eye out on Matriz. I think he's got a good chance in these hard tyres. He can take them to, I think, what, about lap 20? Maybe not as much, maybe about lap 17 instead of mediums on. I've never actually done the hard strategy around here, so I couldn't really tell you. But he's in a really good position at the moment. Onto the podium is now into DRS and Ash. He's got a wee bit more ERS as well than Wedgie, so he can defend if he needs to be fair. It's now quite even. I don't think Wedgie used any of his that lap there. But Podium needs to try and get past Nash now. I think he's got more face on him. But we might see an undercut in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, but here comes Eke Below. He's looking to try and make this move now on Fin2 Racing, and the McLaren, by the looks of it, is trying to make moves too. And here comes Eke Below, gets that move done on Fin2, and the Ferrari of Massey gets the move done. And Apex spins. Apex loses it. He spins there down at turn 2. And once again, the Ferrari powered cars are having issues here in Spain. A big shame for him. So that is a big shame for him. He's going to fall off that pack now, and those hards are going to be a little bit more worn and a little bit overheated right now.
We got Speed in the chat saying sitting behind another driver won't save his tyres at all. Surely it won't save them, but it means that he can, you know, when he goes down the DRS, he doesn't need to push as much. What I mean by that is you can kind of afford, you know, to maybe not brake as light, maybe not put as much energy through the tyres. You know, you can afford to kind of back off, and then once you get down to the straight, just use a bit more ERS. That's usually the best way of saving tyres. It's not great sitting behind someone, but it means that you can save ERS and save tyres. And so as we've got both drivers in, Towie and Nash, that is a wee bit early on, I'd say, at the end of lap 6. So maybe a wee bit too early.
This could be it now for Wedgie too. Wedgie's using overtake. He's in the slipstream. He's going to try and close up, but he's just too far ahead. I think Wedgie may have just seen them two pit. Could have been the perfect opportunity for him to take advantage. And that's a Williams round, and that's Crowden.
Oh, so he's lost it. He's probably taking too much curb by the looks of things. Whereabouts he's spun, I think he's taking too much curb through there. He's taking that really big curb on the inside, which just doesn't work. And he's got end plate damage as well. He's going to have to pit for us that hard. It's going to be hard for him to get to the end. He needs a safety car now. But Towie's putting us at a medium, so Towie's doing a 2-stop.
That's not helping, because sorry, just to mention here, Presto. Yeah, Nash has just come out behind Apex going into turn 1, and now he's going to be held up by this hard compound runner, and that's going to also fall into effect here of Towie. So it's not going to work out for Towie. In fact, got ahead of him, so that helped Towie perfectly. His card and the tyres in the pits is a big shame. But we've got this little bit of a train here with Massey, Finn 2, Breezy, all in this little train here, all battling currently for 7th place. So these lot are really trying to go as long as they can on these medium compound tyres. The safety car is really going to shake things up right now with strategy.
Well, what it's done at the moment with the likes of Nash and who else is it? Nash and Towie on a set of mediums in the 2-stop. Look at the gap they've got to onto the podium who's staying out. He's literally just coming into turn 1 at the moment. They need to gain.
Oh, here comes Wedgie. Wedgie sends it down the inside into turn 1. They make contact with onto the podium. Them two, the banging wheels onto the podium, managed to stay in front, but for how much longer? Wedgie is looking to try and take this now. He smelled blood in the water before. He's looking to go round the outside into turn 4. Let's see how this is going to go. He doesn't get that move done. Tries to do a little bit of an under and over. Get a better exit into turn 5. He's going to have a look onto the podium. There's a little bit of a gap. He wants a better exit here as onto the podium. Locks up. And I don't think he's been able to get this move done. He's got overtake enabled again, but before the corkscrew appears, he is not alongside. Oh, but onto the podium. There's a little bit of a wobble there coming out of the corkscrew. Let's see how this is going to go now. Here we go. DRS overtake. He's going for the outside line now. Let's see how this is going to go as we enter sector 3 onto the podium on the inside. Wedgie on the outside line onto the podium. He's going to have the inside line onto this curb. Wedgie gets ahead and moves into first place. A brilliant move there and a brilliant battle between them two.
That looked like it was a bit personal from Wedgie there. I think after the Zandvoort incident, you know, Wedgie wanted to maybe send him back up the inside, but I think Podium will be pitting at the end of this lap. No, he stays out. I'd have probably pitted at the end of this lap, but maybe he's just going to try and stay within the DRS range, which he has, to be fair, as long as he can just use some ERS. I don't think Harvey will get him into turn 1, but yeah, it was very optimistic. Will Podium send it back up the inside though? No, Wedgie puts his car in just the right position. Yeah,
he does that absolutely perfectly there, and it was a good move there by Wedgie in sector 3. We saw a similar one from Conor in Division 1, but here comes Breezy down the inside of Massey. How is this battle going to go? They're both on the medium compound tyres. Massey doesn't fight it. Lets Breezy go through and maybe try and get the better exit, which he is looking to try and do here. Is Massey is all over the back of Breezy. He's going to look for the inside line here, going into turn 4. Let's see how this is going to go. Ferrari versus Red Bull. Massey on the inside line, Breezy on the outside line. They're still going to battle here towards turn 5, and there we go. The Red Bull stays ahead in 7th place. Massey putting up a little bit of a fight there, thinking about the next couple of corners.
Just keep an eye on the front pack because Harvey's right on behind Podium, but again, the middle sector is really hard to overtake. Podium, I think, is now struggling with his tyres. I think you're probably pitting this lap instead of a set of hards. I pitted the end of lap 8. He's going to pit the end of lap 9.
We've got
so
battle here further down the grid for 14th place. Menard versus Senna. These two are side by side at this current moment in time. They're heading towards the corkscrew. Let's see how this is going to go from these two. They're going to go side by side. Menard on the outside, Senna on the inside. Oh, and that was close to contact, but Menard comes out on top and somehow gets that, but Senna is going to look to try and get him here in the slipstream, forces his way down the inside line, and Senna takes the inside line there and will claim P14, but Menard tries to do a switchback. Menard is looking to try and come back down the inside, doesn't able to do it. Senna stays ahead of Menard there in 14th place.
Got people saying in the chat though, is Podium going to pit? He pits literally as we say, Podium to pit now. His hards won't make it, they will. His tyres will go to the end from lap 8 onwards, so Podium, where's he going to come out though? He's going to come out just ahead of Apex.
Oh, Apex is trying to battle him. Oh, that was close between them two. Oh, and Podium also has a little bit of a moment there as he comes out of turn 2. So he had a little bit of a moment there too, so a big shame for him, but he's still come out in a nice place. He's got the hard compound tyres on, he's going to the end, and we'll have to see how that pays off for him.
Well, we see the likes of Towie and Nash on a set of mediums. They're going to have to pit again. Are they trying soft, medium, medium? I don't know, but if a safety car comes out, then they should be able to pit again, free stop, but at the same time, I don't think the 2-stop is really the way to go. If it was, we'd see a lot more drivers doing it in like Division 1 and higher tiers. So, you know, maybe if they've got pace on those tyres, then maybe at the end of the stint they'll be good. But like I say, he has to basically find a whole pit stop as Harvey gets a 3-second penalty. That might come back to haunt him at the end of the race. But let's see how the strategy unfolds, because Wedgie and Harvey will have to put a set of hards on anyway. So the only difference that they'll have over Podium is newer tyres. We've got yellow flag sector 2.
Dino, safety car. Safety car has been deployed. Dino losing it there. Where was it? In the corkscrew of all places. Just lost it there. Looks like on entry. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to cause our first full safety car of the day.
We've got Recall in chat saying mine's exploded lap 31, so it's a tough call. We've got Speedy saying Podium is in a nice place there, I think. Well, he's even in a better position. His tyres will go to the end. but will Wedgie get an overcut on him? That's the question, because Podium got about half a lap on those tyres, and they went up the temperature, so let's see. Well, if I was like Samasi and Towett, I'd pit. I'd have to pit for these tyres. If you're Ekibaloa or Matrice, you're actually in a really bad position. You cannot take mediums to the end. So everyone on the hard tyres who started on them are really going to struggle now. But Wedgie and Harvey, they will pit this lap. Owen Howell will pit as well. They might take Owen Howell might just get ahead of Podium here. It depends what the safety car does, because I know once like the leader passes the line, you then don't have to stick to a delta. But Terry should be pitting, I'd imagine. Oh, what happened? Is Nash pitted? Nash did pit, didn't he?
Yes.
Oh, Nash did pit, so I never saw that. That was my bad. So he's pitted as well.
Wedgie comes in. Harvey comes in. This is where they're all going to start filtering through now into the pits and see what the standings is going to look like after the safety car. Owen Howell comes in. Matrice stays out on those hard compound tyres. What's Eke below we're going to do? Eke stays out also on the hards. Breezy comes in. Massey also is going to come in. So does Towie onto the podium. Let's see where he's going to filter back out here compared to Wedgie's just about to come round now. The final corner. By the looks of it, Wedgie is already out of the pit box and is already coming down the straight. So he has got a huge margin there if he was not under virtual safety, or not under safety car, should I say.
Oh, Podium's going to have done about Owen Howell as well. He had his delta to stay to. He comes out the pits. I don't think he's going to get to the safety car line first. He doesn't. He tries to though, but he comes out P6. So that'll be a net P4 at the moment. Owen Howell's gained so much from that. That is incredible from Owen Howell there. That safety car has worked out really well for him. But for Matrice and Ekibaloa, they need another safety car within the next 5 laps of the restart to put a set of mediums on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would. And he can't even pit for a set of hards or a set of mediums and put hards on again because he won't have a new set. So that's the thing with starting on the hards. So if this happened to Legends yesterday, he wouldn't have won the race. So that is the issue you have starting on the hard tyres. If you start on mediums, you can always go to the hards. If you're on hards, you can never put another set on. So it's going to be a long race with Matrice and Ekibaloa now. But like Apex is pitted for a set of mediums. He can't get them to the end. That's going to be. I don't think that's even possible. So he'll have to pit again. Everyone else is on hards now. So wow, this race has kind of gone from being kind of the strategies all over the place to now them getting right. But Podium stayed out a couple of laps. Obviously not knowing the safety car, he'd have been fine. But it's what it is, you know.
Well, the only man currently out there on a tyre compound other than the hards is Apex. He's on the medium compound tyre, so is he looking to try and go on the softs at the end and hope there isn't a safety car? That will be interesting to see, but this is turned into a topsy-turvy race right now.
Well, look, Crowden in the chat saying I'm done. That's what I'm saying, Crowden. 12 laps into the race, you retired, what, 4 laps into it, 5-6 laps, and we've got a safety car. That's why you never quit from a league race until like the last lap. You might have wasted your time, but that's why I always say just stay to the end, because you never know what could happen. Crowden would have been at the back of this pack, but you'd have still been, you know, the back of the pack bunched up. But I think when you say Apex, that's the only thing Apex can do. Apex can't, he can't really pit. The only thing though, if he stayed out in the hard, he'd have had a wee bit more track position. But Apex has to try and like catch up all the way to Matrice, first and second, and 14th for his chassis to be quicker. But maybe Matrice and Ekibaloa are just kind of dealing with the strategy. They just have to stick with what they've got, even though they're kind of in a really bad situation. But you never know what the luck is like. Sometimes you can be nowhere, and then all of a sudden a safety car comes out and it helps you. So let's keep an eye on Matrice. Maybe he does the long game. He stays out maybe for a safety car on lap, I don't know, lap 20 or something, put a set of softs on, and all of a sudden he's in a great position. So we'll just keep an eye out. You never know what could happen, but that's why you always stay in a race, because you never know what the game's going to throw at you. Oh well, I've got to film now, but safety car is in this lap, so hopefully Dime can be back before we start going. Who are we actually riding on board? We are riding on board at Ekibaloa, so I will ride on to him just to see what the start's going to be like. Wonder if Wedgie will try and get a move on him at the start. I would imagine he would try, so just in these new tyres, but he's back now, that's perfect. As you see, will Wedgie try and force a move in turn? We saw him do it on podium before he pitted, so he knows he can make the move into turn 1. when's Patrice going to go? The safety car is literally just coming into the pits now.
These
So
two are really going to be under pressure here with these 12-lap-old hards compared to Wedgie and Harvey. But this is where Podium needs to make his moves. We're getting ready to... Oh, there's contact between Harvey and Wedgie. That is highly likely going to be a 5-second time. It is! 5 seconds, and he hit Eke Baloba too. 5-second time penalties for 3 people there, and Wedgie and Harvey, and this is going to be perfect now for onto the podium. Onto the podium's gone all the way through. Podium's gone all the way through 2 cars. He's managed to get past. He's alongside now with Owen Hall. This pack is going to be absolutely insane. There's 6 people involved in this one. Let's see how this is going to go. 3 abreast into turn 1. Massey hits the back of Owen Howell, and them 2 are battling here. Here we go. We are back on the way here for Division 3, and this is absolutely insane. Onto the podium is on the great start. He's got Owen Howell. He's moved up into 4th place. He's done what he's needed to do on the first couple of corners and moves up. Breezy sends it down the inside of Towie. Let's see how this is going to go. Massey has got all our shape there too. He's going to be under pressure. There is battles everywhere here in this pack, up and down the field. The Racing Point of Harvey was battling there with Towie and his Fintu Racing with Jezza as they head to the corkscrew. And what a first half of the lap that was, as Harvey is all over the back now with Breezy. He's absolutely raging to get onto the back of this one. He's got overtake. He's in the slipstream. He's going to pull for the outside line here. Let's see how this is going to go. Down the outside he goes. Let's see. He does a switch back. No, he doesn't. Breezy gets ahead, moves, and keeps 7th place.
well, I just saw put a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. It said, but Harvey spun, literally coming out. He couldn't do anything about it, so that might get taken off at the end of the race. But he has to hope that they can at least sort that. What a hectic start that was. You know, I've never seen a chaotic start as much as that was there. But hopefully they can fix that. You know, but that was the craziest start I've seen within ERN. And me commentating.
Oh, here comes Harvey on Breezy. Harvey on Breezy going down the inside here. Let's see how this is going to go into turn 1. Breezy holds the outside line very, very well there, and will keep his place in 7th place.
Yeah, we've got people saying, was it Whipson saying, is that a few penalties on... Wait, when you got 10 seconds, so you got 2 penalties there for that start. 1 for hitting...
It'll be 1 for
Harvey
Podium going into the back of him. No.
No, it would have been Eki Beloa and Harvey.
It was Harvey that hit him. Yeah, it was Harvey that hit him. Sorry.
So he might. I think you'll probably get that. You'll probably get the Harvey one taken off. But I don't think you'll get the one with Eki Beloa because he went right off track, and he hit him himself. So that might get taken off. But
I mean, it depends if there's another safety car. Because if you serve the 5-second time penalty under the safety car, then it's null and void in it.
Yeah, she can't take that off. That is very true. You can only set 1 5-second under the safety car, so you probably get at least one of them taken off if there's a safety car, but that's not going to help him at the moment. But I think onto the podium we'll get his taken off if there's no safety car, just because there's nothing he could do. Harvey lost it. Podium could brake, because he braked. There's going to be a massive pilot behind him, so he just did the best thing and just went.
Here comes Harvey and Breezy once again. Harvey looking down the inside line here, and there we go. Harvey claims back 7th place there, moves himself back up into those positions. Wedgie is really pushing now. He's got a 1.4 second gap to Podium, and he knows that with those penalties he needs to create a little bit of a gap.
Well, what Wedgie needs to do, he needs to get past Eki Below on these tyres. He needs to just get past them. You know, he's on a new set of tyres. He needs to create that gap, like you say. He needs to... He'll probably get them... He's got a chance to get at least 1 taken off, I'd say, looking at that. Again, I'm not stewarding this at the moment, you know, but it'll probably get clipped in, and we'll have a look at it. But I think by looking at it just quickly, I think one of them will get taken off. It's Harvey.
Oh, that's a McLaren and Darko Wade. Darko Wade has just spun it, coming out of the exit, the entry of the corkscrew, and I don't think he's got any damage, luckily, so he just spins back around, but that was him just flying in the background there.
And he's got wing damage as well, so that's his race completely done. You're going to have to put a set of mediums on, maybe try and nuss them to the end. So it's at the worst possible time as well to try and pick, because he won't go to the end. So he just has to kind of stay out now and hope for some sort of safety car. But I think Wedgie will try and get past Eki Below now. Eki Below is using all of his ERS, so he's actually turned it off now. He's overtaken as Wedgie still has open. So here goes Wedgie into turn 1. Yeah, Eki doesn't fight it. And into P2 he goes now. Good move there from Wedgie. Yeah,
he's really trying to get on a charge now, knowing that penalties are going to be a big factor in this race. As I'm just looking at Senna and Jezza, these two were side by side there, and I think that was Darko Wade just coming in. Has he had an instant coming into the pits? He has.
Yeah, he crashed coming into the pits, though.
A big shame there for Darko. We'll have to see what he decides to do. Does he go for another set of hards? Does he go for a set of mediums? We'll have to see what he does.
I think probably going for that mediums is the only thing he can do at the moment, and just try and maybe nurse him to the end, or maybe look for a safety car of some sort. But you know, he's still staying in here. He's still keeping, you know, that's the best thing to do.
Side by side there, going through the fast right-hander. That was a bit insane. Harvey and Breezy still side by side now. Breezy on the inside line tries to cover Harvey as much as he can, as Harvey tries to keep a little bit of contact with each other. A little bit of contact. Can Tawi make any advantage on this? Because he's looking directly at this battle, and he is going to look to try and take advantage of that fight. But Wedgie up ahead is right now on the back of Matriz, and so is onto the podium with Eke Belova. So both of these guys will be wanting to get those moves done. And here does go Wedgie. Wedgie looking down the inside now. He'll get this done way before turn one. Moves back up into first place as Harvey and Breezy. Once again, these two really battling here today. Breezy and Harvey, they're really slugging it out, these two, in the Racing Point and in the Red Bull.
He must know you're giving them all that extreme time for doing that, but there's Breezy picking up.
Oh, that was a car off the track. That was a car off the track, and now Minaj is under pressure. Minaj is under pressure here now from Chelsea. I'm not too sure what happened there, but I saw it out for Tawi by the looks of it. That was a little bit stranded. I'm not 100% sure. Zakis Beast is trying to get involved. Minaj tries to hang it around the outside here compared to Chelsea. Chelsea will now have the outside line. Minaj on the inside line. Let's see how this is going to go. Minaj sends it back down the inside. This is still going to be close as they head towards the corkscrew. There's a car gone off, and that is Owen Howell in the Red Bull. Side by side in the corkscrew. Chelsea in the Sauber goes off across the gravel, and Minaj comes out on top of that one and wins that battle. But yeah, Owen Howell was the guy that went off. Looks like any damage on that car, Presto?
I don't think there's any damage looking at it. I'm just trying to see if they'll give the camera angle. I don't think he actually hit anything. I just think he lost it. He might take a bit too much care.
Rain in 15 minutes.
Ooh.
Rain.
So that. Ooh. So is that Codemasters 15 minutes, or is that real life 15 minutes?
That's like
because
2 laps.
If it's Codemasters, yeah, probably.
We know what we saw it in China.
We
saw it in China how much those times are just so messed up. But onto the podium is right on the back here of Eke Belova. He'll be wanting to get past there at every available opportunity. I mean, he's in 4th place currently, the leader. That the man he is challenging is just up ahead there. You can see him just in the distance in front of the trees. He wants to catch him as much as he can. He needs to clear these cars, so it's all now to play for onto the podium. It's up to him to get this move and get moving across. But further down the grid, Tawi is also having a really good race so far. The safety car maybe doesn't help him a little bit there. That might have been a warning for him on that corkscrew. We'll have to see if he gets any penalties. But Division 3 been very, very chaotic so far. So it's been a little bit crazy. But onto the podium is still looking to try and get onto the back of Eke Belova. Eke Belova is trying to challenge the guy that's not pitted yet either. These will be coming into the pits probably within a couple of laps, and then that's going to finally release onto the podium. So we'll have to see. As there we go, Eke Belova comes into the pit, so he's looking to do an undercut there on Matriz. So we'll have to see how that pays off for Eke Belova later on into the race. So he pits and tries to do the undercut. We'll have to see, but Massey now is now got onto the back of onto the podium, and he is currently net P3. So this is now a fight for the leaders. Tawi, ooh, he was close to the back of Breezy there, but doesn't manage to make a move there.
I'm back now, so if I miss anything, I feel I have maybe just a pit stop, but I feel I haven't missed anything too important.
No.
That's not too bad. So who's actually in a good position at the moment, taking penalties into consideration? Let's just say Wedge's got 5, Podium's got none. At the moment, let's just go by that. That's probably the best way just to look at it. Podium, let's have a look at get these up. So, penalty, I can never find them. So Podium will have none, so he's in a good position at the moment. Massey with 3. Harvey with 8, so like to Breezy, he seems to be in a really good position actually. Where is he then, time-wise? Intervals, so my intervals have gone, give us a second, I'll find them back.
So
yeah,
it is now overcast in turn 1, so the rain is coming now, so we'll have to see what happens.
Well, that's very interesting, so 13 laps remaining. Yeah, I do assume that if the rain does come in 15 minutes, that it will really spice things up. Will it mean that if there's like 2 or 3 laps left,
Oh, here
People
comes
maybe
Podium.
gamble staying out.
Podium on the trees. Let's see how this is going to go. And he's got that move done. Now we can try and challenge Wedgie further up ahead. Is Tawi going to be able to make a move on Breezy? Still stuck behind Breezy, not able to get that move done.
We need to make that done. So now you need to try and stay within at least 5 seconds of Wedgie just to be safe. But obviously he wants to try and pass him. But he needs to, at least for his own sake, he needs to try and stay within at least that 5-second gap, just so that he can at least win the race on track, or at least stay ahead of him at the end of this race. But I'll keep an eye out on Breezy and Tawi. With no penalties, it might come back, you know, to really help them at the end of this race. But actually, with that rain coming, I think we're in for another few spicy things in that last couple of laps.
Yeah, definitely so. Massey currently there now in 4th place, and he's certainly looking. You're buzzing, by the way. I can hear some buzzing. Oh, is that a car gone further back? Something too. He's just had a little bit of an issue there. I think it was. He may have had a little bit of a moment. Massey in 4th place, 5/10 now behind the trees. Let's see how this is going to go. He's looking to try and press now. This is for P3. Let's see what's going to go here. He's in the slipstream. He's got ERS enabled. He's got the overtake. He's going down the inside. Let's see how this is going to go. Matrice doesn't fight it and gets that ahead. But Tawi finally gets ahead of Breezy, the move that he's been trying to make all this time, and he moves up into 6th place.
I wonder if Matrice is waiting for the rain.
He could be. He could be indeed. I mean,
I think he's going to be. Oh, we've got yellow. No, was I wrong?
Oh, Breezy sends it. Breezy sends it down the inside in 7th place to Tawi. Let's see how this is going to go. The side by side now as they head towards the corkscrew. Tawi is going to look to try and take the outside line. This is going to be close between them, and Breezy gets ahead, moves back up into 6th place.
So I said someone had spun that. It was completely my bad. From my minimap, it looked like someone had went off, but I think it was just a kind of glitch, if you know what I mean. The car's all over the place, but I wonder is Matrice kind of going to hold out for the rain? I think the rain's just too far out for him to actually make that strategy work at the moment. But maybe he's just trying to hold out for another safety car. But I expect him to maybe, if he doesn't pit this lap, I expect him to maybe go a few more, put a set of softs on as he still stays out. So I think he's maybe going for the hard softs and maybe a safety car later on. But you know, he's not in a bad position. I think he knows himself that if he pits now, he's going to lose so much time. He's going to be where he below it is, who's 15th, quite far off a point. So he's just trying to strategy though. Is we've got Harvey on the inside.
I thought that was going to be an easier move there for Harvey. That's why I didn't cut in. But Harvey, the trees made that a lot more harder for Harvey as he needed it to be. But Tawi is still battling here with Breezy. These two are side by side as they go into turn 4. Let's see how this is going to go. Tawi's on the inside line. Breezy hanging it around the outside. Red Bull versus AlphaTauri. Let's see how this is going to go. The Red Bull on the inside line. The AlphaTauri on the outside line. The Red Bull at Breezy looks like he's just got ahead there before Tawi. Let's see what the exits are like. But I think Breezy will have that line going into the corkscrew, and he does. He keeps P6 once again.
All of those catches him on the rear there. Breezy didn't get the best exit, but we've got Nash now gaining slowly on Tawi as well. So Hill picked up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, and so does Senna. So this driver's starting to be a wee bit sloppy now. But if that rain comes, we can still have another upset for this race.
Yeah, it is getting quite dark out there now, I've noticed, Presto. It's especially down the pitch. Look at it going down into turn 1. We got told by legends that this was it was overcast in turn 1, and it certainly is, as Matrice comes into the pits.
Yeah, I think he knew himself that, you know, I'm just going to stay out a wee bit longer, just hope for a safety car. But he's got a set of mediums on, and for some reason it's just the game glitching. As Massey has got past Harvey. Did we catch that on stream? No. It came up on mine. Maybe just an issue. No. Maybe just an issue on my end again. It's the intervals are changing. It says Massey. I've got a green tick from Massey saying he's passed him. So yeah, that was and apparently Harvey's a 10th behind him. So yeah, that's not true. But that's my issue. But Fintu Racing gets the fastest lap of the race at the moment. Nothing really to report though at the moment, looking at the pace of people. But Podium's keeping him a wedge. So his race pace seems really good. Massey again. It seems to be pulling away from Harvey by the looks of things, but I'll have a look at his laps just to see. We've got a few people in the chat saying what's it? Great racing this from AMG Reckless. It really is. What's insane? Doubt the rain will come. It's very interesting because if it's 15 minutes out, I do think we might get like a spot of rain. It's like 3 laps to go. I don't think it'll affect them.
It could really play havoc with the hard compound tyres with how worn they will be at that stage. People on the hard could have a bit of an issue if rain does come down.
I think they could. Matrice is like.
Oh, here comes Towie again. Zoe to interrupt. Towie's looking to try and go around the outside of Breezy. Breezy hangs the inside line, doesn't get that move done.
Really good, clean battle between these drivers, to be fair. They're like, when you're this close to people, you get a bit of understeer mid-corner. They're giving each other room. It's Towie almost went for it again. You know, they've been very clean racing from these drivers, and fair play to them, respect for that.
Yeah, them two, Breezy and Towie, the two Red Bull owned cars, are really having the battle here today, and I don't think Christian Horner. Oh, Harvey didn't lose it! Coming out at the exit of the corkscrew. He had a really big oversteer there. He had to correct that. That could have been his race done and dusted. And I think Massey would have looked back hoping that he would have ended up in those barriers, but he managed to keep it together. Very lucky there for Harvey.
Yeah, very much. He knows that he's quicker than him, so he just has to try and, you know, wait till he gets to the back straight in the DRS and just try for it there, get a good run out of the final corner. But yeah, you don't want to be making mistakes like that. Just for tyre wear. I mean, they will get to the end, but if this rain comes, if you've got 5%, you know, tyres that are newer, less worn, it's going to be a big difference. But we have Massey using all his ERS. Harvey not using his as much now, so I think he maybe needs to try and get Massey to use a lot more of his, just so that he can, you know, get behind him.
Towie once again. This time he is alongside Breezy in the Red Bull. Towie goes down the inside line. Breezy hangs it beautifully around the outside line. Towie still now has the inside line. Will have the inside line going into turn 4. Gets on the grass a little bit. Nearly loses it, and Breezy will take advantage of that and go round the outside absolutely beautifully.
I think Breezy's quite happy for Towie's come up his inside, because at that point he then just has it inside for the next corner at turn 2, and then that's him still ahead. So I think he's more than happy for him to keep doing that. But it's great clean battle. I know I've said it before, but I mean, mega from these two drivers who have again not got any warnings, or not again, haven't got any penalties, so they kind of have to like work together to try and maybe close up to the likes of Harvey. But all this just means that they're pulling away ever so slightly, and I think Harvey having 8 seconds of pens, Breezy still needs to not lose 3 seconds over him. But if they're going to keep battling, I think Harvey might just have the gap at the end of the race.
Yeah, there are battles up and down the field still. Just DRS needs to be the biggest factor here. Harvey, like I say, is right behind Massey at this moment in time. 40% ERS. They're both quite equal actually on ERS, and Massey is just trying to break the toe there down the straight. He knows he's got 3rd place currently, and he's trying to get it as he's lagged out by the looks of it there. This car just had a big X over it and is lagging in and out.
Nothing. That's really bad segments. That's Massey taking a bit of the curb there. But Massey was a wee bit laggy for me as well there, so maybe it's just
Owen Howell retired in the pit.
Oh, he's retired in pits. My bad. I wonder why he's retired in pits. He's got 13 lap old tyres, so he would have either got to the end, but maybe he's just not having it. Maybe he's just not enjoying it.
Yeah, not working out him. Not the best. Not the best thing that we'd like to see, but I'm just looking at those clouds, Presto. Oh, is Harvey nearly loses it again? Going through the corkscrew. He's really struggling with application of power going up that hill, and he nearly spins it again there. That is a big, big shame, and he's just lost a couple of times. Senna nearly loses it too. This is going to put Minaj all over the back of Senna, going through the back DRS straight. Let's see how this is going to go. Minaj goes a little bit deep though, and that helps Senna to get away a little bit for now, but that rain looks like it's going to be approaching anytime soon.
I'm just looking at the penalty situation. At the moment, taking away penalties that could get taken off, Massey will win the race on track with the penalty. Well, actually, I might be completely wrong. Actually, he's got 3.
Here comes Harvey. Harvey's going to get the slipstream. He's going to go down the inside now. Overtake and DRS enabled, and he's got that move done. Going into turn 1, moves himself up into P3, and Massey down into P4.
He just needs to now just try and, with his clean air, try and catch up to podium as much as possible. Try and at least break the gap to Breezy that he's got. But Breezy's kind of dropped Towie ever so slightly. Not got any ERS.
Senna and Jezza, these two side by side going. There's contact between the two, and Senna gets it all wrong. And there was contact between the two. Minaj is lucky to avoid a big, big accident there, and there's end plate damage for Senna on the left-hand side.
P10, I think his best thing for him to do is just kind of stay out at the moment. He cannot really pit. He'll lose too much. I know he's literally just inside the points at the moment. He has got 3 seconds of pen. Zach's got 3. If he goes outside the top 10, maybe he just has to pit and kind of risk. He won't score any points anyway, so it's the worst time for him to lose the end plate damage. But if the rain comes, he might be able to save himself. But those clouds are coming, so I don't think it could be extremely heavy, but I don't think it's worth pitting. So it'll be about car control in these last couple of laps.
Yeah, 5 laps to go now, ladies and gentlemen, in this Division 3 race. It's been chaotic so far, and it is still not over. And I think Massey is looking to try and get back on Harvey as much as he possibly can. He needs to get back into that DRS and soon to be able to stay with him.
Well, Harvey again closing on podium and Wedgie. Wedgie and podium are evenly matched at the moment.
Menard looking to try and make a move on Jezza, looking to go down the inside into turn 1, gets that move done very nicely. Jezza tries to switch back, and now Menard goes deep, and that will give the AlphaTauri all the room he needs on the outside line, but he doesn't take it, but may try and challenge going into turn 4, but by the looks of it, he's just not close enough, and that was an opportunity there for Jezza to try and take that position back.
Well, Jezza is doing really well. He's retired in the last 4 or 5 races, so he's doing really well he's doing really well where he is at the moment, you know. Fair play. So as long as he can just, I don't know how many pens he's got, but as long as he can keep it like within the points in the race, then I think he should be okay. But fair play to Jezza, he's doing really well at the moment.
Yeah, he really is. He's just inside of the points in 9th place, as you mentioned, Finn 2 pits, so he'll be looking to try and maybe take the fastest lap away from somebody in this race. Howie and Breezy, these two have been stuck like glue for this entire race so far. He really, really has, so we'll have to see how this goes. Howie now 6th place, just under a second now between him and Breezy, and still in the DRS. So Breezy not using any ERS down the straight. Well, I don't think Towie's using all of his, but he's just not getting close enough, unfortunately.
I think Breezy probably knows that Towie's not got any ERS, you know, so he's only really gaining within the DRS. So Breezy knows that he doesn't need to use his as much. So when he gets down to the back straight, if he needs to use it, he can just deploy it. But very good battle between these 2 drivers, and I do expect that we'll at least see a few more moves before this race finishes between them both.
Yeah, definitely so. Zach is beating Senna, them 2 also battling behind Jezza. Jezza trying to defend as much as he can now for that 9th place. Towie is still trying to battle for 5th, and we've got to remember, these 2 don't have penalties. So these 2 are just in a nice little cushiony zone here with themselves, along with Nash behind them. So we'll have to see how this one pans out. 3 laps to go now, and the rain has not yet fallen, so I don't think, as you say, it's going to affect it too much.
I expect if the rain does come now, it won't. You need to gain at least like 13-14 seconds a lap on a set of intermediates. You will gain that when the rain comes, but you'll lose like 20-30 in a pit stop. So well, it's at lap 31. The rain might come on within lap 32. There's no point pitting on the last lap. So these tyres will get to the end. The rain might come like literally on the last lap, but it might affect a few drivers with a wee bit more understeer. So there could be a few extra warnings right at the end. But Breezy and Towie might actually gain a few positions just for the penalties, as we see Massey's got 3, Harvey's got 8. So I think they'll probably just gain 1 position, but as long as they keep it clean, they need to be a wee bit quicker, to be fair, because I think they're about 7 seconds behind Harvey at the moment, so they just need to kind of up their pace ever so slightly just to keep that position. But I think with that battling, it's really going to
here comes Zach's Beast on Senna down the inside here into turn 4. Let's see how this is going to go. Senna on the outside line, Zach's Beast on the inside line. Is Senna going to look to come back down the inside? He is going to look back to come down the inside. It's started to begin to rain now here in Spain, but here we go. These 2 are battling though, coming towards the corkscrew. Senna is going to try and hold it as much as he can. No, and Zach's Beast gets around the outside there and gets that move done, as Finn 2 predictably takes the fastest lap of the race so far.
Great move from Zach there, even though Senna's got wing damage. He was great around the outside there.
Podium's got him within a second. Sorry, just a note there. Podium got within a second and now has DRS, so he's managed to actually get him closing so fast to Wedgie's gap.
Wedgie's got no ERS. Wedgie's only got 2, so he's running really low. I know Podium's got 1 warning, Wedgie's got none, so they can maybe afford to have like 1 warning here or there. Wedgie more than anyone in Podium, but 2 laps to go. They'll still have temperature in their tyres for at least 2 more laps, so it won't really, it'll maybe be a second or 2 slower, but who's got the newer tyres. I think Wedgie does, but if he's got no ERS, then he's going to be a bit of a sitting duck down the straight. We've got Storm saying, let's go podium.
Yeah, podium.
As it stands, podium would win on penalties, but it could all change after the race.
Yeah, it really does. Let's see what's going to happen here. Look how much he's closing up. He's really Wedgie's he's struggling now with this rain and the hard compound tyres. It's like podium's just adapted into his own stride here. Since the rain has fallen down, he's really closed up, and we're now into the final lap. And a flashback to last season in Division 3, a final lap overtake for the win was the exact same, but it was me and Zach is Beast. So could it happen 2 seasons on the bounce? Let's see. Onto the podium, we'll be looking to try and close up. And look how much he's gaining already on Wedgie. He's gaining. He's got the overtake. He's got the slipstream. He's got the DRS. He's got to look to go for the outside line here. The side by side. No, Wedgie defends that as much as he can, but this could still go down here, going into turn 3 as the podium runs a little bit wide there, and that's a shame for him. But Towie nearly loses it in a battle with Breezy, manages to save it, so that's lucky for him. So he's not spun round there, so that was lucky for Towie.
We've got Crowd in the chat saying, come on podium. He's not even backing his teammate at this moment in time. He wants podium to win. If I was podium, I'd still try and get past him, just because Wedgie could get both of those taken off. But yeah, podium might try and go for the move down here into turn 10, but Wedgie's got a wee more ERS at the moment because he was able to save through the middle section, so I don't think he'll gain. Will podium go for a crazy live? I don't see it, but Wedgie has to keep this last sector clean. He cannot afford to lose at his podium. Oh, just loses the rear through there.
Yeah, he does onto the podium, still onto the back of Wedgie though. I mean, if there's any mistakes in this final sector, one of these is going to take advantage of podium just squirming now. Now podium starting to lose a bit of grip there, but Wedgie is going to come across the line. P1 on the track, he'll drop down. Wedgie comes across the line, he takes P1, podium jumps him. Harvey is going to follow. Harvey stays in P3. Where does Massey filter in and all of this? Massey jumps to P2, so in fact, look how close that is between him and Wedgie. So 500ths of a second separate him and
Breezy does
Wedgie.
Get Harvey at the end. Oh, by 2 tenths. I knew he had to kind of keep his pace up in the last couple of laps, and he did do that there. But great from Massey there.
Yeah, Harvey in 5th there, Towie in 6th, Nash in 7th, Menard in 8th, Jezza in 9th, Zach Beast 10th, Senna 11th, Matrice 12th, Eke Blower in 13th, and Chelsea jumps Eke Blower on penalties. Apex is still in Sector 2, and so is Fin2 Racing, so they're just entering Sector 3. But what a crazy race that was.
The rain really spiced things up, and it didn't make too much of a difference in terms of like actual. I think maybe if it came maybe a couple of laps earlier, we could have seen a few people gambling on the intermediates. But when it happens so late on in the race, it's just there's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, that was as Apex all loses it. I think the rain is now starting to take over. But yeah, what a race that was. That's incredible, that race.
Yeah, it really.
A lot of clean driving as well. A lot of clean driving, which is very good to see.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. There we go. We get to advance and give you, ladies and gentlemen, a run down. Do you want to just get Podium and Massey in for an interview, good sir?
Yes, I will do. We'll
get them two in. The game gives Breezy driver of the day. We'll go through mine and Presto's driver of the day in a second, so we'll have to have a little look, but we've got to do a little quick rundown in a second, as there we go. Podium on top of the podium once again, and bloody hell, did he deserve it today. He is on top of the podium there, and he and the Renault Garage are certainly going to be happy with the amount of points he's brought in. Massey finally back on the podium. It's good to see him there, the current Division 3 champion, and also joined by Wedgie in 3rd place. Well, let's give you a quick rundown, ladies and gentlemen, of the rest of the field. A really fantastic battle between the Red Bull and the Alpha Tauri of Breezy and Towie. Them two had a great battle there. So here we go onto the podium. Massey and Wedgie finish up the top 3. Outside of the top 3 is as follows. It is Breezy, Harvey, Towie, Nash, Minaj, Jessa, and Zach is Beast in 10th place. Outside of the top 10 is as follows. It is Senna, Matrice, Chelsea, Eke Blover, Apex, Finn, Darko Wade, Owen Howell, who DNF, so did Dino, and so did Crowding. Presto, who was your driver of the day from today?
I'd probably give it to Breezy. Started from 19th on the grid, having no penalties, considering he had to make up all those positions. He might have got a wee bit more with the what's it looking for, the safety car and a few people crashing out, but to make up all those positions and get no penalties is definitely worthy of my drive of the day.
Yeah, an absolutely fantastic drive there from Breezy. I'm going to have to completely agree with you there. Presto certainly had a fantastic drive, but another person who had, two people in fact, who had great drives there today, Wedgie and Massey, currently join us in the commentary booth for an interview. How are you doing, boys?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Pretty decent.
A very interesting race there today, boys. Especially, I'll go with you first, Massey. Massey, you had finally back on the podium for once. An interesting race from yourself, battling with a couple of people. How was that race for you? You had a spin at turn 1 as well, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there was about 4 cars trying to go into turn 1 together, and I lost out. And then I think I got a slight touch from behind. It wasn't anything bad, and then I was sideways, and then I didn't ghost, and then everyone just hit me. So. No one's fault. I was sideways, but yeah. At that point, I thought, here we go again. This is going to be another bottle job from Massey. But yeah, enjoyed battling back through, and then I had an awesome battle with. I think it was Breezy at one point where we were side by side for about 3 corners, and then I tried to do a ski back on him, but yeah, he just about kept ahead. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed. I'm not sure I'll keep the podium. It depends what those. A lot of people had some 5-second penalties. But I think I'll still be 4th or 5th, which is a huge improvement on how my form has been so far this season. But it's just nice to see my face on that podium again.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, you are currently the Division 3 champion, and that's really helped you close up and try and defend your championship. I mean, those points are always crucial every single week, so that has really helped you so far. I mean, we'll have to see what the stewards say, because there were penalties involved, and quite a few penalties during the safety car that we saw happen. So we'll have to see what happens when the stewards see those clips. So we'll have to see what the end result is. Keep an eye on Twitter and Instagram for those end results when they do come out. Anything to add for Massey, Presto?
No, I wouldn't actually. I'm going to let you do the interviews this time, because I always tend up making it. I done them the last time and I had the hard questions. I'm going to let you do the interviews this time. See what you have to say, but I've nothing to add at the moment.
Okay, yeah. Once again, Massey, a fantastic recovery drive from yourself to get that back into second place. I think you got, wasn't it, after penalties? Am I right in saying?
Yeah, 500th of a second ahead of Wedgie, but
yeah,
I think he had 2 5-second penalties, so he might get that back.
Yeah. But once again, a great recovery drive. Even if you come out in 4th place, it was still a fantastic, not 4th, 3rd. It was still a fantastic recovery drive from yourself, so you should be proud of that one, good sir.
Cheers, thank you.
Let's go on. Who should we go next? Podium. We'll go with you, good sir. I think you're in here now. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Thank you for asking. Well, how was your race today? It was a difficult one. You had to try and keep up with Wedgie, who had a great qualifying session on those medium compound tyres. Had that strategy. The safety car caused a little bit of a stir, and then you two had a little battle going into one of the laps. So let me know your thoughts on that race.
Yeah, I mean, did you like my start? My start was incredible.
It was. It really was. It was a really great start.
No, I think I did what David did yesterday and lost like loads of positions at the start. So that was fun. And then I don't know. I was debating 2-stop because the tyres felt awful, and then they came back to me a bit. So we just stuck with the 1-stop, and then that safety car was a bit unfortunate with when it came out. But then the restart was a bit of chaos. I think Matriz went a bit too slowly. That like really slowed it down, so there was contact in front, and then Harvey got squeezed onto the grass and like was sideways. So I think like me and Owen probably got illegal overtakes on him. For him, like nothing we could do about that. And it was just a case of just trying to bring it home. Don't know, Wedgie had incredible pace today, so fair play to him.
Yeah, it was a very, very crazy safety car restart. It definitely was. I mean, even the front pack where you guys were, and even the back of the pack was absolutely chaos between everybody. There was at one point 4 people trying to go through turn 1, 4 abreast. It was pretty chaotic. It really shaped a lot of the race to come. Monaco next. Are you looking forward to that one?
I do quite like Monaco, but I don't want to pick it up. So
You must be the only person in the world on this game to maybe even slightly.
I like
Monaco.
Monaco and like Singapore. I like the street circuits. So.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. So we'll have to see. We'll definitely keep an eye on you then next week in Monaco. I expect pole position from you now, podium. Yeah. Wedgie. Great qualifying session from yourself. A good race also. Led quite a lot of that race too. Just dropping out there on penalties, but I imagine those will be included to go to the stewards to see if they can get removed. Let me know your thoughts on that race.
Yeah, it was all right, mate. I had a shocking start. I don't know what I was doing at the start. I mean, I've tried. So this week I've switched to no traction, and I cannot do the starts. Jesus, I don't know how. I think I went to like fourth gear at the start. I couldn't get the tyres down, and then it was just a steady race, really. It wasn't. I decided I had to try and get passed onto the podium at the end of his stint because I didn't know what he was doing. You know what he's like with his dodgy strategies.
Yeah.
So I was like, what is he doing? So I had to send it. And then it's sort of then the safety car, Matrice. I mean, clearly he'd never been at the front before because I don't know what the hell he was doing. He backed us all up and Harvey just rammed into everyone and he only got a 5-second though, which is a bit confusing. But
I think it was like a knock-on effect by the looks of it. Like, I think Harvey hit one car,
he
and
hit me and I hit.
There.
Yeah, I think I hit Belova as well, so I got 10 seconds for that. I did clip it, so that should be alright. But yeah, other than that, no warnings or anything. It was pretty decent. I did shit myself a bit at the end when it started raining, but yeah, it was alright. It was decent.
Yeah, another great qualifying. I mean, that qualifying stint there on those medium compound tyres, I mean, putting you into P3 on the mediums must have really set you up perfectly.
I wanted to get pole, to be fair. I got blocked by Dino's AI, which is quite annoying. I don't know if I would have got a 6 though on the mediums. That might have been a bit of a push. But yeah, it was decent. I knew I had to start on the mediums though because I didn't want to do a 2-stop. Because obviously if that safety car didn't come out, it would have been hard for them to take them hards to the end.
Yeah.
This podium got like 3 laps under safety car or whatever we got, so he would have been really struggling at the end. So yeah, the mediums are definitely the strategy, so I had to go out on them. Yeah, it was pretty decent. And I kind of had to win after last week, so I got absolutely shafted last week, so
yeah,
back in the championship.
Another very, very interesting Division 3 race. It's certainly been spicing up a lot as race by race. Monaco, the next race. I've already asked you, podium, Yuzu, Wedgie, Marcy, what's your thoughts on Monaco?
Well, if Callum is watching, can you return the front wings from last season? So I can save them for this season. No, I don't like Monaco. I don't like street circuits in general. I'm not a smooth racer like some of these fast guys. So, yeah. Just about keeping out of the walls, isn't it, at Monaco? You dares wins.
Yeah, so what do yourself?
To be fair, mate, I've barely played Monaco on this game, so honestly, I couldn't tell you. I haven't really practiced at all, so...
Then he puts it on pole.
I can relate so hard. I can relate so hard.
I've never been on pole in the ERN.
Hashtag Wedgie did one. What?
Anyway, boys, thank you very much for coming in for the interview. We do appreciate it. Hope to see you once again in Monaco next week. It'll be a great, great race. Thank you again.
Cheers. Bye, everyone.
Right. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up here for European Race Night here for Division 3. A fantastic race here at the Circuit de Catalunya here in Barcelona. One of those that certainly shaped up to be a great, great race. That safety car restart was absolutely insane. We're back tomorrow for Division 4 at 7:30, and we're back next week at 7:30. For Division 3 on the same day. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Division 1, 2, 4. Make sure you don't miss it. I've been Dame Zero, your lead commentator for the season. Alongside me, Mr. Presto. You haven't spoken in a while. I'll let you say your goodbyes, Presto.
Yeah, I've got some sad news. I will not be back commentating next week. Not that Dame he's been so great, but he said yes. I've got WOR. I'll be racing myself in Tier 3 WR. You know, I was only here just because, you know, the season had done. And I might be back in about a month or two, though, because there's usually a break week in WR, and I will try and make another reappearance in the comms box. But I've loved doing these last 3 races, and I will happily maybe I might even try a Div 4 one if I'm free 1 week. I'll maybe try and do that if I'm free. So I've loved it, and hopefully Dime can bring someone else in. Not as good as me, obviously, but you can bring someone else in.
Anybody who I bring is better than you, Presto.
Cheeky but true. That is very true. But yeah, I appreciate everyone in the support as well, and hopefully we're back on comms not too distant future.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate.
Thank you.
It really has. We'll have to see who he'll come back with next week, but you'll have to tune in forward to see who my lead commentator is next week. But anyway, from everybody here at European Race Night, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll catch you all next week. Bye bye, everybody.